Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Fun Size, and look who we have here. We've got our boy Gohan, and we've got him at 55%. So you already know what that means, right? That means a 55% video because I recently pulled him, and I'm very excited to do it. So without further ado, let's jump in, boys. All right, here we are in the event. Now, we're not going to talk about him just yet because we're not even on a rotation with him yet. But I basically brought him on this team specifically because this is where the majority of you guys that have pulled the new units are going to be running this Gohan because, well, he basically perfectly fits here, right? Like, that's the whole purpose of the card itself. Like, this is where he belongs. He belongs with the trio, fighting Broly and doing his thing, right? Just because he is a movie hero as well, that helps trigger their passive. So he can stay on rotation with them, no problem, right? So that's where that comes in. And not only that, but they share 6 links, right? So that's also where this is very important. Okay. The fact that they link for 6 links and he's doing all of these things, it's kind of crazy, you know? It's kind of crazy. But unfortunately, we don't have him again. Okay, that's hilarious. All right, well, I guess I'll just start trying to talk about him a little bit, and talk about what his leader skill is, and then when he shows up, then we can just go from there. Yeah, let's just go like this. Yeah, that's fine, and then we'll just attack Zamasu a bunch. Okay. So not only do they share 6 links and all that, but he's a perfect slot too for this character, the trio, right? The trio is defensively sound for the most part, especially if you built them correctly. Unfortunately, I don't have any potential to do that other than just a little bit because I don't have any dupes in them, but I'm not too worried about it because, you know, I'll get dupes in the future, but definitely prioritize dodge with them. And then, I mean, you can kind of 50-50 it with dodge and crit, right? That's really what you want to build with the trio to give them the best chance of doing anything, especially being in slot 1 unit, because sometimes you'll just die in slot 1 with some of these latest events. You'll just literally die. Broly will just one-shot you. So take that into consideration, take that with a grain of salt, if you will. All right, so let's talk about Gohan in general, right? So the category that he leads is actually a pretty good category because, well, if you notice, it's Kamehameha for 200%, right? It's Kamehameha, in which case that encompasses basically all the Gokus, all the Roshis, anybody that throws a Kamehameha and it says so. You can expect them. That even means fusions later on as well. It really just depends on how they want to use their funky category system, but that could potentially mean a lot of characters in the future as well that are coming to the game that can just be thrown on this team, which is fantastic. That's great. That's a really good leader skill. Very solid. Okay, so before Gohan actually gets here, or actually as he gets here, that's funny. Okay, so let's start taking a look at Gohan's stats. Now, I will warn you, I was mindlessly playing some of these events. I didn't realize that it was a link level event. So he, instead of being at level 1, he's at level 2. I apologize. Don't shoot me, please. I'm just, I'm just trying to make content, But I was mindlessly doing events, and that's what ended up happening. So I was like, oh, well, that's not great. So these are slightly, very slightly inflated, very minuscule amount of actual difference here. Okay, so let's talk about what he does on his supers and why his numbers look the way they do. Okay, so we've got 263,000 defense. Now, most of you are looking at that and going, that's not a lot of defense, because it's not. But he does offer some other things to help mitigate all of that. Okay, so because he's on the trio team, and since he is a movie hero, he then allows the unit itself to give a buff of 77% defense, which is really good. And then on top of that, when they super, they give even more defense and offensive support. So that really, really helps him in general stay alive and do the most that he can do, right? So on his 12 key, he has a 50% chance to stun, and he greatly raises attack and raises defense for 1 turn. Okay, that's fantastic. We love that he can stun, and we love that he's just raising defense in general on super. And then on his 18 key, we have the same thing basically, except he's raising raises superclass allies defense by 50% for 1 turn. That is very significant. That's very significant because let's say if there's a slot 3 unit that could potentially die, guess what? They're no longer going to potentially die. Most likely, because at another 50% defense, that is a lot of defensive support, especially like the trio and then him, right? After they both super, that third guy is going to be so juiced with defensive support. I don't really think there's a whole lot that anything can do to them, especially if they're actually a defensively sound unit. I don't think that's a problem at all. Honestly, like that's insane. Okay, so his passive, let's look at his passive for a sec. So we have key +5 and attack and defense 200%, right? Nothing too crazy. Plus an additional key +2, attack 40% up to 200%, right? So that's also another thing. He has to attack 5 times and defense up to 150% with each attack performed. Now, as far as the defense goes, yes, he still has to attack 5 times, which is a bit unfortunate. So he gets his defense a little bit slower, but he gets his attack quicker, right? In which case he does have built-in additionals and all that good stuff. So we'll keep going here, okay? So we have plus an additional attack 77% within the same turn with each super performed. Okay, that's great. Launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack when key is 18 or more. So that's where that other additional comes in. That's great. And then when key is 24, plus an additional attack 58%, and launches an additional super, and if HP is 77% or more, attack effective against all types. Okay, so this is also where like you don't necessarily need to build him crit, because if you give him 24 key, he's launching 2 additional supers, and then he can do another super after that from the hidden potential, which is count them 4 supers again, in which case he's going to be effective against all types if you're at 77% or more, right? I'll just go ahead and do this turn really quick, and we'll start getting him built up because I don't want to be yapping for too long. Broly, sorry buddy, but you gotta get thrown off here. Now, we didn't give him 24 key on purpose because I want to see what he looks like without it, and then we're going to see what he looks like with it. But take into consideration he will stack up a little bit. Let's see what else. Yeah, the numbers didn't really change or anything, so we'll see what happens here, right? Let's do this turn, and then we'll keep talking. So, let's see what else. So when there is another Kamehameha or Warriors Raised on Earth category ally attacking the same turn, plus an additional key +2 and guards all attacks, and if HP is 77% or less when receiving an attack, high chance of evading enemy's attack, including super attack. So I mean, EBF, right? Earthbred Fighter also plays a huge part in this, which is, I believe the trio is on that category because all 3 characters are Earthbred Fighters, right? Goku, Gohan, and Trunks. So, I mean, hey, you know, hey. So then there's that as well. So if you have one of those categories on the rotation with him, he then gets buffed even further, which is insane, right? He guards all attacks, which definitely helps his defense and everything, which, you know, he's already lacking a little bit. But let's say he does get touched, right? Let's say he does get touched by something. Then he has a high chance to dodge, which is also why I said give him dodge, because guess what? Bosses these days hit pretty darn hard, right? But if he's supering and doing all this stuff and getting defense, most of the time you don't really have to worry about the normals. But let's say it is something you gotta worry about, and it's like Gogeta or something, and he hits Gohan before he's able to do anything, then he gets to dodge, right? Because I believe it immediately activates after the fact, right? If you drop below 77%, then it just activates. So then you're able to dodge after that, and you're not going to just keep getting smacked. which is really, really good, and it keeps him from potentially dying, which is really, really nice. Okay, so we're just going to do this turn, and then we'll just, we'll carry on. And then hopefully we can get the standby pretty soon here, which I don't believe the standby conditions are actually horrible or anything, which is really, really nice for him. So we can stand by for 5 turns, during which 7 Dragon Balls appear, which I want to talk about that as well. I think that's really, really cool, honestly. It's a little easier than some of these other ones where you have to solely rely on the amount of orbs that you get, which is cool, but like sometimes it's nice to be able to have something a little different, in which case this definitely was something different, right? Also, if you were to have Bulma on this team, Bulma actually helps even more than I anticipated, because guess what? Bulma orb changes, right? So what does this mean? Oh, if we're on a turn where we need the Kamehameha, right? The family Kamehameha, and we have the Dragon Balls ready and everything, we can just pop Bulma's active, not only get more support, but then we have an entire field of STR orbs, and we can potentially collect all the Dragon Balls at the same time, which is crazy. Now, granted, I didn't put Bulma on this team because I didn't think about it until just now, but if I did, then I would be able to show you guys that, and Bulma would just completely change all the orbs, and then we'd be chilling, bro. Like, we would be gassed. There's nothing else to do. We just collect all the Dragon Balls, we get hella charges, and we just go from there. Like, we just pretty much one-shot whatever's in front of us. Because the family Kamehameha, even at 55% from what I've seen, is really, really strong. They're hitting on average like 25 to 35 million on just with no crit, no nothing, just raw dog, like boom, there it is, right? Which is kind of crazy, I'm not gonna lie. So the standby conditions can be activated when HP is 77% or less, or starting from the 3rd turn from the character's entry turn once only. Okay, so actually Gohan, yep, Gohan can do it now, so that's fantastic. Yeah, we'll just actually let it rock. Now we'll look at his defense. He's at 421,000 defense now, right? He was able to have a turn, and then now this is him built up, okay, just a little bit. So we're gonna build him up some more. I don't remember how many attacks that he did, so just to be safe, we will go an extra turn, I guess. That's fine, just so we make sure we get all 5 that we need. And then we'll count here how many he actually does. Apologies, chat. I was looking at his passive and all that stuff, so I wasn't able to really see how many supers he did. But that's okay. That's okay. And I also like that it doesn't matter. Oh wait, is it super attack? Is it super attack performed? Let me see. No, it's each attack. Yeah, okay, so that matters too. His passive builds up with every attack that he does, period. It doesn't matter if it's a super or not. So even if he does a normal, it still counts to raising his attack and defense, which is very significant, because we've had units in the past where they strictly had to get supers, aka least Gohan, and it is horrible. That restriction is so awful. Like, having your RNG solely based on as to whether or not the character's supers, and then it's not even guaranteed or anything, it was awful. It was absolutely atrocious. But since we've gone away from that, it actually helps a lot. So we basically get 2 guaranteed additionals, or excuse me, 2 guaranteed supers every time he's at 24 key. Yep, and then now he does this one. This is a 3rd one. Oh my goodness, he's ridiculous. And this is him at 55%. Keep that in mind. Like, I don't have any hidden potential. I don't have any of those other things. So we'll assume that he's supered at least 4 times right now, right? So what I'll do is, after this rotation, I will go ahead and cut to him being fully built up, just to be sure. So I'll do a whole nother turn and everything. Hopefully we won't get a Dokkan attack or anything and ruin this, which would suck. But I'll go ahead and cut. I think that's what I'll do as far as how we'll handle this. Oh, and then Broly transforms. Okay, cool. Fantastic. This is going great. Also, this team in itself, like the way I've made this team is a lot of fun. You got Super Saiyan future Gohan, You've got Big Broly here that just does an absurd amount of damage. Then you've got the trio that defensively takes care of everybody. Like, this team is insane, bro. Like, it's actually so gas. Oh, I love this team. Love it, love it, love it. But I'm gonna go ahead and play through another turn with Gohan to make sure he's fully built up, and then I'm gonna go ahead and cut, and then I'll be back when we're ready to do the active. Okay, be right back. Okay, and we're back. All right, so this turn is definitely much later than I anticipated because of like the Dokkan attack and all that stuff, and I didn't want them to die, and I wanted to get everything in this one run. So here we are, right? Gohan is fully juiced here. He's at 658,000. Pretty good, honestly, for being at basically level 2 links. 55%, no other hidden potential. That's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, just off the rip, because we know he has guard because he's next to a Earthbred fighter. So we're chilling there. Like, there's nothing that these guys can even do to him. Even if I were to put him in slot 1, I could. But generally, he's not a slot 1 unit, simply because of how hard boss is hitting nowadays, right? Like, if this card came out, let's say 6 months ago, he would be amazing. He'd be best unit in the game. I mean, even now, he's still very, very good. Probably very, very close contender for number 1, number 2, you know, something like that. Now, let's look at Gohan fully linked up as well as fully juiced here, because this is a turn where he's gonna do some damage. He's gonna do some things, and imagine if he was critting and doing all of that, right? So take that into consideration as well. Yeah, he's gonna look good. He's fully built up in every regard. He's got his defense, he's got his offense, he's done all 5 attacks already. We're chilling, bro. And then we get the extra support from the trio. So yeah, Gohan is gonna look very, very good right here, especially at 55%. Like, he's probably gonna hit like a 20 million attack stat and then do 2 to 3 more supers after that, you know. So yeah, Gohan is definitely very, very good, and he's got probably one of the best animations in the game right now. Not so much his supers, right? His supers aren't the part where they put the money. Yeah, 20 million, he's that guy, bro. My boy, Gohan. Yep. See, now, this isn't where they put the cash, right? They didn't put the cash here. Next turn, when he comes back, that's where they put the money. I'll tell you what. Yeah, look, see, he's done 3 supers now, and he could, if he had hidden potential to do like an additional, he could do potentially another one after that. So yeah, if he's critting the whole time too, bro, this character's just killing whatever you put in front of him. And then he also links with this Broly now as well, because Broly shares 5 links with the trio. Gohan shares 6 links with the trio, so he probably shares 5 links with Broly, which is, bro, the whole team is so good, bro. It's so good. It's so good. It makes me happy. It makes me smile. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy on the inside, you know? Just makes me, ugh. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and cut again so that then we can actually see Gohan's active or his standby, and then we'll go from there. I'll be right back. Okay, so here we are. Now we are on Gohan's active turn, or his standby turn, and we'll go ahead and let's watch, shall we? Oh man, that's so heat. I love it. Okay, so here, let's look at Gohan now, right? So let's see. Gohan now is only at 147,000 defense. but not to worry. Gohan is unable to attack except for when he actually activates the family Kamehameha or the Brotherhood Kamehameha, and there are requirements for both. But then we also have attack plus 77% per super class ally attacking in the same turn. And if all attacking allies in the same turn are super class, reduces damage received by 77%. In which case we have that. We have 77% damage reduction. Then he gets 50% defense when receiving an attack per key sphere obtained. And then we also have guards all attacks, plus an additional attack 258% when the finish effect is activated. So when he does the Kamehameha, he gets a huge attack boost, okay? Now, we can go ahead and try to get as many of these Dragon Balls as possible. This looks awesome, by the way. Like, it looks so good. Okay, let's get this. Oh, can we get more? Oh, we can. We can get these right here. And then we go like that. Boom. That's 4 Dragon Balls. No, that's 5. Excuse me. That's 5. I can't do math. My fault. Okay, and then we can grab this right here for him. Yeah, and then next turn we have another chance to get a Dragon Ball. But yeah, I love how long they can actually stay in standby so that you have plenty of time to get the Dragon Balls just in case RNG is not blessing you. So that's definitely a thing that's a big plus there. So for sure, Gohan is definitely one of those guys that's just like, he's just so fun. He's fun, and I like the mechanic itself. Just getting the Dragon Balls, which instead of getting all these orbs, but if you do happen to get a bunch of orbs, it only makes him that much stronger, right? So basically the requirements for him getting different versions of this family Kamehameha. So we have, let's see, we have raises attack by 15% temporarily per charge count and causes ultimate damage to the enemy. Finish skill conditions can be activated when skill charge, or excuse me, when charge count is 34 orbs or less. And then we have less than or 6 Dragon Balls or less, right? So there's actually 3 variations to this. So if you only have 34 count, you can activate it, and then that's just a regular Kamehameha. And then the Brotherhood Kamehameha is when he raises attack by 15%, and then it does ultimate damage, but also it is at 35 counts of orbs or charges, right? And then you have 6 or fewer Dragon Balls. And then if you get all 7 Dragon Balls, it instead of 15 per charge, it is 20% per charge. And then after that, oh, let's go ahead and grab these. Wait, no. Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah, we'll do this, and then we'll do not much else because we don't have any Dragon Balls. But okay, we'll do this just to ensure that we get this other one here, and that's fine. There we go. Boom. You have all 7 Dragon Balls on 54 counts. Now, we could have gotten more, of course, but this is generally what you'll see, like, not super crazy. I didn't want to go super ham with it. But if you get all 7 Dragon Balls, you get 20% per charge, and then you have to get 35 count or more with 7 Dragon Balls obtained. And we do have that. We were able to meet that requirement. So we'll do this turn. Actually, we don't even necessarily have to watch this turn. I'm pretty much done talking now as far as his active and everything, so we can just probably cut to it, but I'm not going to because it's not really necessary. But yeah, once we actually launch the family Kamehameha, that animation is so gas. It's so good. So yeah, can't wait for that. And then that'll pretty much be wrapping up Gohan. Like, Gohan is very, very good. The family Kamehameha looks fantastic. Couldn't ask for more from this card, and I'm really, really enjoying him, and I hope you guys pull him yourself so that you can enjoy him as well. But also, Broly on this team actually works way better than I anticipated. Way better than I anticipated. Let me see how much battery we have. We have 3%. Oh no! We gotta hurry up and do this. Oh no. Oh no, my phone is about to die again. Of course, when I'm recording something fantastic. All right, so here we go. Let's go ahead and watch this, and then that'll be it, boys. Oh, by the way, we are linked up with 6 out of 7 links. I already said that, but I'm just making sure. And then we can grab all of these as well before we even throw it. Look, boom, and now we're at 65. Here we go. Let's do this. And we're gonna throw it on Rose. Here we go. And there you have it, boys. That is the family Kamehameha. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff for me. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.